All right, Martin Popoff here, back with another edition of Reliving Old Reviews is a useless tool of confusion. This is a show where we look at old reviews of albums when they were fresh, written by the pros, and seeing what they have to say about them and whether these reviews stand up or they turn out to be dated. And these are generally bands that we love around here. We've talked to or talked about and talked to on my part a million times. So this is a review of Black Sabbath's Cross Purposes by Jason Arnott in Kerrang. So let's see what Jason has to say. Black Sabbath are on Plan C, and they know it. That's a really good first line. There are more diplomatic ways of wording this, but it's the truth. Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler abandoned singer Tony Martin to work with Ronnie James Dio for the second time, and in turn fell out with Dio when they tried to entice Ozzy Osbourne back to the fold. So yes, cross purposes. We are getting this after Dehumanizer, which is kind of like a failed attempt with very dirty Mac production on it. Didn't do well commercially, had that crappy album cover. So they tried to go back to the glory days of Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. It didn't work. They all kind of fell about and, fell out, personally speaking as well. And so now Tony Martin, right? Martin's back now. He's a fine singer. If a blatant disciple of Dio, I kind of feel that's a bit of the case. True. It is kind of true. He really does vocal phrase like Ronnie. Sabbath have never made an appalling album, but Cross Purposes was never going to be a great one, barring a sudden surge of amazing creativity. Headless Cross, Martin's first album with the band, was one of their more underrated moments, while its successor Tear proved relatively limp. I've never been a Headless Cross fan. I just don't really get all the praise for that album. It was big in Germany and stuff as well, right? But I really like The Eternal Idol, probably as the best of them. All this aside, Cross Purposes is more than the career-capping shite bag that some might have expected. Less weighty and monumental than 1992's Dehumanizer, without doubt, but not bereft of some fine songs. Iommi should never be written off. There's always something lurking up the wily axeman's sleeves, even if there's less this time than on Dehumanizer. Certainly nothing as heavy as Buried Alive oozes forth. The opening Eyewitness starts at a disappointingly leisure pace, like it wasn't intended to kick the album off, but manages to build a show of melodic strength come the hook. That's a great point. Cross of Thorns is an excellent epic with a commercial edge and would have worked perfectly with Dio had the relationship lasted that long. Psychophobia is heavier but unremarkable in the obvious Dio dig. It's time to kiss the rainbow goodbye. I forgot that line. Irritates to no end. The next song of real note is surprisingly the ballad Dying for Love, in which Martin carves out a wondrous hook. Far superior to Tears, Feels Good to Me. It would make a formidable single. The rest of the album's second half is neither abysmal nor outstanding, and this sums up Cross Purposes as a whole. It's far from a joke, but placed beside Sabbath's truly great works from the past, it can only look up in awe. Yeah. Great closer on that. You gets the knives in a little bit. It's true. It's kind of a lukewarm review for a lukewarm album. There's a picture of the guys there. So there you go. That's been another Reliving Old Reviews. Let us know what you think of this review, of my review of this review in the comments. Please hit like if you liked what I did here today, and subscribe. We'd love to get those numbers up as well. You can get my Black Sabbath books. Born Again Black Sabbath in the 80s and 90s, and Sabotage Black Sabbath in the 70s. I can supply both of them still. It's basically the straight story of the band. My usual way, one album per chapter. You can get all that at martinpopoff.com, and I will sign them and send them out from the office here. But there you go, Black Sabbath Cross Purposes.